to ES E-mini futures 2000 tick chart, and we're using price action rules and market geometry to determine where to enter for high probability setups. So as you can see, we're starting this morning off in this sideways consolidation trading range. The overnight session, you can see gapped up massive. Normally when you see this kind of thing, you'll see during the day prices try to fill this gap. So I'm expecting it to potentially push down. Obviously we don't know yet, but you can see in this trading range we have a lot of empty room here at the bottom. Multiple attempts and failures to reach the bottom of this trading range. That's showing a lot of bullish imbalance. This uptrend did not create new high because we were at these highs, I'm thinking. And then we just immediately pushed back down. We can see how much we retraced of that downtrend or that uptrend. If we just put this here, well, this isn't really working for me. Let's see. So if I put this one here at the bottom, so you're basically measuring the entire move of this uptrend, and we're seeing how much of that we retraced of that uptrend. You can see this line here in the middle is the 50% line, and we've retraced over 50%, so I'm no longer expecting a new high for this uptrend. I was expecting a new low for this downtrend here. If there was a second entry short here at the EMA, I probably would have skipped it personally because of the bullish imbalance here. You can see all the empty room here at the bottom, failure to reach the lows, and then the fact that we created new low and then immediately pushed back above EMA before reaching these lows definitely shows that there's some kind of, stronger bullish bias here. So really just gotta sit on our hands here. I either want to see a push to the lows or a breakout of the top that succeeds and continues to work higher before I'm comfortable with the bias to start looking for trades. There was this here, but it didn't trigger, and it's kind of a weak bar. This downtrend does need new low, so I can mark it black. It's decent, but with it being a Monday and the market bias and structure being kind of unclear, you want to really sit on your hands here. You don't want to argue with the markets on a Monday. You really want to just sit on your hands because you want to build the buffer, right, at the beginning of the week so that you can start to either scale up or be a little bit more aggressive depending on how the week goes, right? Like later on in the week, if you've built a buffer on Monday, Tuesday, then you can, start to be a little bit more aggressive throughout the rest of the week. But with it being early morning Monday, market structure is kind of unclear. Not a huge fan. It would be new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short, failure. So it's kind of a double trap. Visually a lower high in a way, I guess. It's not really a lower high because this the second entry short is lower than this bar, so it'd be more like a double trap where both the bears and the bulls got trapped. Decent setup. I'll mark it black. As of right now, I'm just going to be sitting on my hands. Like I said, I want to see it push to these lows or have a succeeding breakout of the top. Let's see. So considering that this bar did not trigger below its lows, you can see this setup never triggered. I'm going to go ahead and delete the arrow. If it does trigger here, then it would be a black arrow trade, but since it didn't, I got to delete that. Alright guys, so originally I had drawn a measured leg here. You can see we have the first leg, correction, and then the second leg, and you can see that it was almost measured if we were to pull back into range here, but you can see we bounced off of the top of this trading range, so it's kind of like a breakout pullback. And the fact that we continue to work higher even though we have these measured legs and it moved past those makes me look for this wider channel. It's not quite confirmed yet. I want to see it push a little bit stronger. Considering that most breakouts of trading ranges can fail, it's a little bit sketchy taking a second entry long or something off of this EMA to test new high of this uptrend. But it's a really good way to try and understand the directional bias of the market. If you see two legs and then it pushes past, you can also see it as this little short-term uptrend here. If we copy this, put it at the bottom, you can see break, push to new high, but we continue to work higher after new high is created. And when we get new high, we expect correction or reversal, not for it to continue to work higher. So if you see new high created and it continues to work higher alongside the two measured legs, and it continues to push past those, then you start to look for some kind of wider channel. Normally, I wouldn't do this in a trading range, especially when it's a breakout like this, because it can just be one push phase, breakout, and then pull back into range. But with the overall bullish bias, failure to reach the bottom, those two legs, break, push to new high, and we continue to work higher, it makes me look for this wider channel. So not really looking for any trades still, though. I really want to see the market speed up. The ATR is super low today. And with low ATR, it's really, the price action still kind of follows the same rules, but you have to be a lot more patient, right? And it's easier to take setups that you shouldn't be in just because you've been sitting here watching the market move so slowly all day that something forms and you're like, okay, I'll enter that. Why not? I've been, waiting all day for it. So just got to be patient, guys, especially on a Monday. Don't want to argue with the market. So let's see what the market wants to do here. All right, guys, price action's been pretty tough this morning. You can see we have this uptrend working higher, break, push to new high, and then EMA holds to the upside after a new high was created, and we continue to push higher. So I drew some kind of spiking channel like this, but you can see when we bounce off of the EMA, the push phase fails multiple times here to push to the top of this trend line here, and we ended up breaking back out. So this is looking like a wider failed breakout, but then again, this uptrend needs new high. It's pretty complicated here, so I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm not really looking for any trades. Not only that, but the ATR is 1.4. It's the lowest I've seen it in a while, so the market's moving real slow. It's important that you sit on your hands here, but hopefully we'll get some volume here and the market will start to move. Let's see. All right, guys, the market is extremely slow now. The ATR is just continuing to go down. I've been watching this for the past hour, and this is all we've formed is this little small consolidation. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Doesn't look like anything's going to form. It's already almost, 12:30, and this is all we've formed today. So overall, decent price action, I guess. We had a few small short-term trends that have break and pushed to new extreme. Price action was still following its rules, It normally does, regardless of what the market looks like or how slow it's moving. The only thing is it tests your patience, So I was live screen sharing this in my Discord community. If you guys are interested, feel free to join up. The link will be in the pinned comment and description. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions, and feel free to subscribe as well. I'll be live uploading my live charting sessions every day. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck with your trading.